Today I am going to tell you a story about a girl who can't see, who was blind and also who can't hear, who was deaf. So how would be the life without those who cannot see and hear? Can you spend an hour closing your eyes and ears? Can we live? How horrible the life will be without seeing anything and without hearing anything. How can we do anything? See how difficult the life is, how the God has created some people with such difficulties. We should feel happy, we should feel thankful to God because He has given us everything. So today let us see a story about a girl who was blind and also deaf. Let us see what happened. The lesson is the most important day. This is your third lesson and the girl's name was Helen Keller. Have you ever heard about Helen Keller? She was a great person. That lady was so great. Without seeing, she cannot see and also she cannot hear. Though she couldn't do such things, she completed her education. She did her graduation and also she gave several speeches to the people in different countries in the world. How she reached that position, let us learn from this lesson. I am going to start the lesson. Please pay attention. It was the summer of 1880. A healthy baby girl was born in a small town in Alabama. So, what was the season mentioned in the lesson? Summer season. In summer season, in the year 1880, in the place Alabama, it is the name of the place, it is the name of the country where a healthy baby, the baby was very fit and fine, where she was a normal girl, took birth to the parents in 1880. Her parents loved her dearly and named her Helen. What was the baby's name? Helen. But one day the baby became ill and day after day her fever stayed high. So when the baby took birth, she was healthy. She was very good, very lovely baby. But one day what happened? The baby was ill. She had some problem and she suffered with fever. For how many days? For several days. She got fever. Day by day, the fever increased and she got high fever. She suffered with a high fever for so many days. Everyone in the family tried to help her to get better. Everyone in the family, father, mother, grandparents, uncle, aunt, whoever were there in the family, everybody helped the child. They took care, special care about the child. But all they could say was, there is nothing more we can do. The baby may not live. The parents took to several doctors. They visited several hospitals. But every time, wherever they go, they heard just a word. What was the word? There is nothing more we can do. We can't do anything. I think the baby can't live. They left their hopes. Everybody said that this baby can't live. She will die. Every doctor, every person who ever treated that baby lost the hopes. They were not confident that the girl will live. So what happened? Did Helen die? No, she lived. Helen lived. But she was not the same after her illness. She lived but she was not so healthy. Before illness she was very healthy. She was very beautiful baby with always smiling. But after the illness, the baby's health was very severe. She became ill. What changes came in her life? See here. Something is very wrong, her mother said. At last they found out what was wrong. The child could not see or hear. So after the illness, when the baby recovered, parents observed, her mother especially observed that something is wrong with our child. Then at last after several trials, they understood that the baby can't see and also the baby couldn't hear them. Then the baby grew into a little girl. Her parents felt sorry for her. Helen often cried and held on to her mother. Maybe you should give the poor child what she wants, her father would say. So the baby grew bigger and bigger. How was she? She left her. She lost her hearing power and also she couldn't see. So before that she was a normal girl. She can hear and also she can see. But after illness everything was changed. So however the parents did not lose their hopes. They tried several treatments, but no medicine worked on her. At last, parents had to take care of her. Father used to say to take special care of the baby, to spend a lot of time with the baby. And the mother also, she always kept the child with her. This baby often cried Helen because she couldn't hear anything. She couldn't hear anything, she couldn't see anything. See how horrible the life is. She always used to cry. For everything she used to cry and held on to her mother. Always she held the mother and sat with her. Though Helen could not hear or see, she was a bright little girl. Helen couldn't see, couldn't hear, but she was very bright. She was an intelligent girl. Some people thought Helen could not learn anything. Why don't you just send her away somewhere? They said. So the people, the neighbors used to say, your daughter couldn't see and couldn't hear. Why are you keeping the daughter with you? They used to suggest them to send her to somewhere else, where some orphanages are there, some societies for the blind people. Like that, you please send this child to there. She will lead her life there. But the parents did not agree. The mother and father were very kind people. They did not agree to send their child away. What did they do? Though Helen could not see or hear, she was a bright little child. So her mother did not agree. She always used to tell the people, thanks. She used to say, thanks for your suggestion. But Helen is very smart, she said, and added, the problem is how can we reach her? The mother used to say to the people whoever advised her to send her away, she used to say, thanks first, thanks. My daughter is very smart. The problem is how we reach her. We should try to understand her. Then only you can understand. If you try to understand her, then you can understand her, her talent. She is very smart. You don't know about her smartness. You don't know how to reach. That's why you are saying. Like this, she is locked up inside herself. She says that my daughter is locked up inside herself. God has locked her inside. She couldn't see and she couldn't hear. But though she has this disability, she is a smart child. The mother was confident on her daughter. Her parents, Helen began to grow wild. She would not let anyone comb her hair. Her clothes were always dirty. She was often angry. Sometimes she even lay on the floor and kicked her feet. Though this mother used to encourage the daughter, she cared a lot, but due to her disability, Helen grew wild. She couldn't manage with her friends because she couldn't hear, she couldn't see them, she couldn't adjust with them and always became rude. So no child came to her, no friends, there were no friends with her. Nobody wanted to make friends because she became very rude quickly. She always kept herself dirty. She did not allow anybody to comb her hair. She spoiled her dresses. She used to lay on the floor and always kick her legs on the floor whenever she got angry. Like this, she used to spend the days. It was very difficult for teachers. Parents allotted a teacher also to teach her. Why? Because she can't go to school, she can't learn like you, because she is an abnormal child. So they arranged several teachers to give her special classes, but no teacher could do that because Helen was not ready to learn from anybody because she can't see, she can't hear. So it was difficult for the teachers to teach her, and also because of her rude behavior, no teacher left with Helen. That's why all the teachers, whoever was ready, just 1 or 2 days or several days they used to spend with Helen, and because of her rude behavior, they left Helen. So like this, parents were very upset, they were worried about Helen. One day, her parents thought that they should find a best teacher for her, Miss Sullivan. A young teacher agreed to help Helen to learn to see the world. Miss Sullivan gave Helen a doll. So like this, in search of teachers, they met several teachers, and at last, Anne Sullivan, a young lady who was also weak in her sight, however she could manage to earn herself, she agreed to teach like this blind girl, and also she started teaching. Though Helen was rude with her, but Anne Sullivan was a very talented teacher. She had great patience. She tolerated everything tolerated this Helen's behavior and tried to teach the girl. First she gave a doll in Helen's hand, and then she said she wrote in Helen's palm DOLL, like this. She made the symbols in Helen's hand and spelled DOLL, doll, and handed a doll in Helen's hand. Then Helen touched that doll and she understood that this is a doll. Then she understood that every word, there are number of words. Every word is having, everything is having a name and every word is meaningful. So she tried to learn. So this was the first day. It was the important day in her life. She learned, what was the first word she learned from Anne Sullivan? She learned doll word first. Doll was the first word she learned. Ma'am taught her doll word. She kept the doll in her hand. Like this. She made the letters with the special hand signs. Helen copied her teacher and spelled DOLL too. But she did not understand what she was doing. She did not know what she was spelling, a word or even that words existed. Whatever the teacher is saying, she used to learn. Ma'am, how did she taught? She taught with a special hand signs. I will show you what are hand signs. You can see, I will look on this. These are special hand signs. See, A, B, C, like this. These are special hand signs. With these hand signs, ma'am used to teach Helen how to use alphabets, like this. D. What is the? How will you write D? Like this? No. How did she show? This is D. D, O, L, L. Like this. Ma'am used to teach Helen. Helen learned education. Helen learned how to read and write through this special hand signs. She learned spellings in this way, a great many words. Among them were pin, hat, cup, and a few verbs like sit, stand, and walk. But her teacher had been with her several weeks before she understood that everything had a name. So here, Miss Sullivan's hard work is very appreciated. She worked a lot to teach a blind and a deaf girl. How did she did this? With a lot of patience, using the hand signs and also showing the things. She used to keep the things in her hand and she used to teach the girl how to read and write. First she taught her words. Then one day her teacher made Helen put her hand into running water. Then she spelled WATER. Suddenly Helen understood that water meant something wet running over her hand. She understood that words were the most important things in the world. Words would tell her everything she wanted to know. Like this, Helen learned from her teacher several words and she understood that words are very, very important in the world and every word is having its own existence. Helen learned 30 words that day. How many words? 30 words. Mother, father, sister, teacher were among them, and that words they were to make the world blossom for her. That was the very important day in her life. She learned 30 words. It had been difficult to find a happier child than Helen as she lay in her bed at the close of that eventful day. She thought about the joys it had brought her and for the first time longed for a new day to come. So for the first time she was waiting for the next day to learn. She was eager to get a new day. She was eager, what ma'am will teach me tomorrow? Like this, first day she learned some words, the next day she learned some more. Like this, every day she learned new words and she was eager to learn from her ma'am. So like this, Anne Sullivan taught this Helen in different words. Slowly afterwards she taught her sentences. Then she encouraged her to learn reading and writing through Braille Lipi also. Have you heard about Braille Lipi? Braille Lipi is for blind. They have a special system of writing. Through that they can learn. So Helen Keller learned how to read and write and also slowly she got the admission in the college. Next she studied graduation also with the help of her ma'am and Suleiman. By the end of August, in six short months, Helen knew 625 words. By the time she was 16 years, Helen could speak well enough to go to college. Helen Keller, the little girl, became one of the history's most famous women. She traveled around the world, speaking in more than 25 countries in the 5 major continents. Wherever she went, she brought new courage to millions of people. See how wonderful it is. How wonderful. Can you imagine how a blind and deaf girl can do this? Yes, this was possible through her ma'am, Miss Sullivan. She taught her how to do it, and also always madam used to tell her one thing. What was the thing? Keep on beginning and failing. Each time you fail, start all over again.